Somnathapura is a small village within the Narsipura Taluk in the Mysore district of Karnataka. It is located at a distance of 36 kilometres from Mysore city. The Keshava Temple of Somnathapura, also known as the Chennakeshava Temple, was built around 1 kilometre away from the left bank of Kaveri river during the rule of the Hoysala dynasty. This temple at Somnathapura, along with the Hoysala temples at Belur and Halebid, have been selected as India's nomination for consideration as World Heritage Sites for the year 2022-23. This is the 7th episode in the Hoysala Temple series. Check out the other episodes in this series by clicking the link above. And do subscribe to this channel to continue enjoying more content related to Hoysala temples. The Keshava Temple is enclosed within a boundary wall with a Mahadwara or a main entrance. There is a Garuda Gamba or pillar in front of the temple. The usual convention is to place this pillar in front of the main entrance, but here it is slightly to the right. Some local legends have been created to explain this. According to them, once the temple was completed, it was so beautiful the gods wanted to lift it to heaven. The temple began to rise from the ground level. The architect of the temple wanted to prevent this, so he started mutilating some of the carvings in the temple. The temple then fell back to the present position, slightly to the left of the entrance pillar. Once you pass the main entrance door, in the entrance porch you will see a huge slab with inscriptions belonging to the Hoysala period written in Sanskrit and Kannada. According to the inscription on this slab, Soma or Somadatta was a commander serving under the Hoysala king Narasimha III. He established an agrahara or a rent-free settlement for Brahmins and named it as Vidyanidhi Prasanna Somnathapura, or simply Somnathapura, giving the village his own name. He built the Keshava Temple in the village and consecrated it in 1268 AD. On the upper portion of the slab, you can also see the miniatures of the three deities in the three sanctums of this temple. In the slab, the deities are named as Prasanna Keshava, Gandapendara Gopala, and Varada Janardana, all avatars of Vishnu. The slab also mentions that certain endowments were made to the Lakshmi Narasimha Temple, which is located around 1 kilometer away near the banks of river Kaveri. This temple is now in ruins. There is an additional inscriptional evidence for Somnatha having built this temple. At Harihara in Davangere district, a stone inscription mentions that Somnatha had contributed to build a Gopuram in the Harihareshwara temple and is also the person responsible for building the Keshava Temple in Somnathapura in 1268 AD. The Chennakeshava Temple is built in the middle of a courtyard measuring 215 feet by 177 feet. Around this courtyard is a raised open veranda supported by pillars. In all four directions of this veranda, there are 64 cells or rooms in total, which used to be small shrines containing idols of various deities. These were broken or defaced by Islamic invaders. The main temple in the middle is built on a platform that is about 3 feet in height. In front of the temple, in the eastern direction, the platform is rectangular. Around the 3 towers, the platform follows the zigzag pattern of the towers with 9 points on each side and 2 linking edges. A stone elephant used to be present in each of the star point end, but now only half of them remain in a damaged condition. In the gaps between the star points, you will notice some stone stands without any figures on them. These originally had images of Nagas and Yakshas, which are missing or destroyed. This is the floor plan of the Chennakeshava Temple. It is a trikuta style temple, meaning temple of 3 cells with 3 towers. It was built with 3 sanctums, each having their own towers. The main shrine in the center is built in the west direction and the sanctum is east facing. The other 2 shrines are in the north and south directions. Each of these 3 shrines have their own vestibule or antarala that connects to the main pillared community hall or Sabha Mantapa. In front of the temple, on either side, you will see remains of small shrines that would have once had dwarapalas or doorkeepers. Now they are empty. From the courtyard level, there are steps that will first take you to the Jagati or platform and then into the hall or the Sabha Mantapa of the temple. Once inside the Sabha Mantapa or hall of the temple, you will see light entering from the sides from many perforated screens made on the walls of this hall. The hallway is supported by many smooth lathe-turned pillars. There are 2 hand-cut pillars near the central square that have a 32-pointed star structure. Between the pillars, the ceiling has 16 panels with domes that have intricate stone carvings. The central part of the domes have banana bud motifs in various stages of bloom. There are 16 ceiling panels and all of them have different carvings. On either side of the western shrine, which is the main shrine, there are 2 kostas. Going by the carvings on their walls, originally they must have had Ganapati and Mahishasura Mardini idols. Presently, in one of them, they have kept a broken Lakshmi Narasimha idol and the other one is empty. The main sanctum is on the west and is dedicated to Keshava. When crossing the vestibule, on either side, you will see 2 doorkeeper figures or dwarapalas known as Bhadra and Subhadra. All the 3 sanctums have entry doors that are intricately carved with beautiful lintels. Above the entrance of the western Sukhanasi or vestibule, there are carvings of Vishnu in standing position and Vaikuntha Narayana sitting on the snake Anantashesha. Once you enter the Sukhanasi, you will see the main door of the sanctum. There are 2 dwarapalas, Jaya and Vijaya. You will see this pattern of 4 dwarapalas in other 2 sanctums also. Above the door of the western sanctum, there is a carving of Lakshmi Narayana on the lintel. If you notice clearly, at the base of this, you can see miniatures of the 10 avatars of Vishnu. Above this is a carving of a seated Vishnu. The deity inside the western sanctum is Keshava or Chennakeshava, a form of Vishnu. The idol of Keshava is standing on a Garuda pedestal that is around 1.5 feet tall. Below, on either sides, he is flanked by his consorts. The original Keshava idol was destroyed, and this is a replica. They have picked one of the damaged Keshava idols, found one of the 64 cells that are built around the main temple. They have restored the broken structures using a different stone and then brought this to the main sanctum. Therefore, you can notice the color difference in the face, the 3 arms, and the weapons in hand. The southern sanctum on the left side of the main sanctum is dedicated to Venugopala, Krishna playing flute. The lintel above the entrance of the vestibule shows Venugopala and Lakshmi Narayana. The lintel on the sanctum door has Vishnu in seated position and a female figure with 4 hands, possibly Lakshmi. The image of Krishna in the sanctum is around 6 feet high, standing on a pedestal that is around 1.5 feet high. Krishna is shown standing under a tree, playing his flute. The flute is partially broken. He is shown wearing ornaments such as earrings, necklaces, armlets, bracelets, finger rings, toe rings, anklets, girdle, and a jeweled crown. His legs are crossed, head slightly bent as he plays the flute, holding it with both his hands. Below, the idol is flanked by his consorts. On his right side, at the bottom, there is a small figure of a cow herd. Above this, on both sides, cows are shown listening to him playing the flute. Above this, to the left, are shown sages with folded hands. The arch of this idol has the carvings of 10 avatars of Vishnu in sequence: Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, Balarama, Buddha, and Kalki. The northern sanctum, which is on the right side of the main sanctum, is dedicated to Janardana, another form of Vishnu. The lintel of this Sukhanasi has Janardana and Lakshmi Narasimha. The lintel of this sanctum has Lakshmi and Yoga Narayana. The Garbhagriha has 6 feet high statue of Janardana standing on a 1.5 feet Garuda pedestal. The bottom part shows the consorts of Vishnu. This idol has 4 hands, upper 2 holding discus and conch, lower 2 holding lotus and mace. It is not clearly visible here, but the prabha or halo around his head has carvings of the 10 avatars of Vishnu. The Jagati or platform around the temple is a broad walking space meant for pradakshina or circumambulation. The devotee has to walk in a clockwise direction in order to pictorially read the Ramayana, the Bhagavata Purana, and Mahabharata epics in the correct sequence. The outer walls of the temple are highly decorated. The external walls around the mandapa or hall have the following pattern with 6 bands. Band 1 has elephants walking in a clockwise direction. Band 2 has horsemen. Band 3 is a scroll of nature with leaves and floral pattern. Band 4 depicts the legends and stories from Ramayana in the southern section on the right side of the temple. The Puranas, especially Bhagavata Purana, in the western section or back side of the temple, and Mahabharata in the northern or left side of the temple. Band 5 has tower-shaped pilasters with lions on the top and deities in between. Most of the deity images are those of Vishnu and his avatars. Band 6 has double pillars and figures in between. They contain some legends and some images from daily life, such as festive scenes, musicians, dancers, and amorous couples. Above this band is the window perforations on the wall. The roof also has carvings of various motifs from nature and symbols from Hindu mythology. The carvings on the external walls of the 3 sanctums are different from those on the external walls of the hall or mandapa. The outer walls around the 3 sanctums have the following pattern from below up. Band 1 elephants, Band 2 horsemen, Band 3 the nature scroll, Band 4 scenes from Hindu mythology, Band 5 Makara, a mythological creature that looks like a crocodile, Band 6 has peacocks. Above this is a section with large sculptures. Most of these large sculptures are of Vishnu, his avatars, and his wife Lakshmi. But there are also images of Shiva, Shakti, Brahma, Saraswati, Indra, Indrani, Kama, Rati, and others. Some of these large panels are signed below by the artist who has sculpted them. For example, this sculpture has been signed below by Mallithamma who has sculpted it. Mallithamma has signatures below 40 sculptures and he has done bulk of the outer wall sculptures. The other artists who have placed their signatures below include Baleya, Chaudaya, Bamaya, Masanithamma, Barmaya, Nanjaya, and Yelamasaya. The three towers above the shrines have similar heights, suggesting that all the three deities are of equal importance. They are North Indian style towers shaped like 16 pointed stars. They are topped by a stone kalasa and an amalaka, a cap shaped like an inverted blooming lotus. The Keshava Temple at Somnathapura is a must visit as it is not merely a worship place for Vishnu but an exhibition place of Hoysala architectural skills.